Hey everybody, this is Johnny. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be on my FNP 45 Tactical. Purchased this weapon probably about 2 months ago. Haven't had a chance to go out to the range yet and fire it. Been out of commission here for a couple of months. But I don't really want to cover a full review on this weapon because there are some great reviews out there on YouTube. And I'm going to place some links to a great review and then a follow-up from a good friend of mine, Leo. And so I just want to show you the weapon and then go over some small points that I think that are important. This is a large weapon, so you know, if you have a small hand and you shy away from larger weapons, then this weapon is not going to be for you. I have a small hand. I feel comfortable with it. I have no problems reaching the trigger on this weapon. As you see, this weapon has already been safety checked. It's cleared, and this is a big weapon. The pros of this weapon is just you know, it's got the Picatinny rail. It's fully ambidextrous on both sides for the magazine, for the decocking lever. And so on and so forth. The takedown lever on this is just you take it apart the same way that you do any SIG firearm, more or less in that style. One of the highlights of this weapon, of course, is being able to take off this plate that's already been milled by FN, and you're able to put an RMR. Doctor makes one for this, and there's a few other companies already in the bag. You have two of the plates that you're going to need in order to mount after you remove this one, and all the tools that are necessary are already provided with this weapon. You get 3 magazines, and I don't know if we'll be able to see that real good, but this is 15 rounds of 45 ACP. There we go. 15 rounds of 45 ACP plus 1 in the chamber, and you get 3 of those magazines. You also, this is a threaded barrel, thus the tactical. You can put a suppressor on this, and then you have awesome night sights on this weapon. They're tall combat sights, and that's so that when you put the suppressor on there, you're still able to acquire your target with the sights without any problem. And when you put your RMR on here, you can co-witness with the front sight, and so you don't have to remove any of your sights in order to do this. And so I'm going to go into that a little bit, a little forward. Some of the things about this weapon is I talked about that it's fully ambidextrous. It's got a ring style external hammer. We talked about the magazines, and this is the point that I want to talk about today. You know, the FNP Tactical competes in class with the HK USP 45 Tactical. Now, I'm not talking about the perceived superiority of the HK versus the FNP. That's not what this video is about. HKs are great weapons. I've owned them. I love them. They're made. They're just excellent made weapons. They function excellent, and so this is not pitting one against the other or saying that FNP is better than HK. I would not dare say that, but I will say that with this weapon, FN really does a weapon right, and it gives HK a run for its money. You know. The one thing that I wanted to mention here is, you know, talking about if you, let's say you wanted to convert your HK USP 45 Tactical to accept a red dot sight, what are your options? Okay, that's what this video is about. Midway sells the JP Enterprise mounts that you can also get at Brownells and probably from their site. And so what you do there is you remove your rear sight, and then what you do is you take that mount and you slip it where your rear sight is. A lot of folks have seen these done on Glocks and other weapons, And so what happens here is that you lose your rear sight completely. You're going to have to remove your rear sight because you're going to have to place that in the slot where your rear sight is. And when you do that, then get ready when you decide that you want to take your RMR out and you just want to use the weapon without a red dot, that you're going to have to take it off, and then you're going to have to replace your rear sight, and you're going to have to zero your weapon back in again. And you know, anyone that's done that before, if this is something that you do for a living, then it's easy for you. But for some of us, you know, who have to knock on a buddy's door and ask him to do us a favor, you know, it's not an easy thing, especially if you don't have a lot of time out on the range and whatnot. And so I'm going to give you one of a few drawbacks of doing it this way. Let's say on your HK USP 45 tactical. One of the drawbacks about going this route is that you lose the use of your rear sight, and to reverse the process you would have to take off the mount and reinstall the rear sight, plus have to zero your weapon in again. Or you're going to have to find someone to mill this slide. In other words, cut this slide out and cut this piece out. Okay, mill the slide to accept a red dot, plus trusting them with your $1,300 or $1,400 HK, you know, without any proven record of success with the final product. You know, unless you have someone who's a master gunsmith that you can trust your weapon with, I don't know of anyone who's going to take a $1,400 weapon, going to place it in the hands of an individual who's going to mill out their slide and do this kind of work without knowing what the final product is going to look like. You know, in my opinion, once you mill the slide, you're going to get ready for your weapon to fall into what I call the race gun category. What do I mean by that? I love the 38 Super. I've got a video out on the Colt 38 Super. It's one of my favorite rounds and one of my favorite weapons. And one of the things about that is that I had purchased a 38 Super in a Springfield Armory race gun from the factory, custom, you know, with a compensator, with Bomar adjustable sights, and you know, this was a competition gun. I got it at a good price, but I paid top dollar for it. When I went to get rid of that weapon, because I had it in my mind that I wanted to get something else, and you guys know that no matter how much you like a weapon, if there's another one that you like, and the only way you can get to that one is by selling the one that you have, once you make up your mind you're going to get rid of it, you're going to get rid of it. And as in my case, it was at a loss. It was very difficult for me to get rid of the race gun because not everybody is into competitive shooting. And you know, it was going to be one of two things. It was either going to become a safe queen, or I was going to have to take a loss. I wanted the other weapon that bad that I took the loss. And you know, I ended up selling a $1,500–$1,600 custom weapon from Springfield Armory, I think in a trade for about $650. Wish I had that weapon back, but you know, those are old stories, and everyone that that loves weapons, you know that this is a very expensive hobby. So my point here today is that FNH has already done the research and the work for you, and it's fully warranted, and it works. This is just for the money, for what you're paying for this weapon. A lot of guys I've seen have paid $1,200–$1,300 for this weapon when it first came out. Right now you can get it right under $1,000, and I'm going to tell you, I don't think that you're going to be able to find it, you know, cheaper than $850–$875. And it's like anything else. You may get on Gun Broker, you may have someone who's selling it for $850. Then you're going to have to pay, you know, $30 shipping. Then you're going to have to pay your FFL fees and your FFL fees, you know, which are probably going to be anywhere from $20 to $30, and so on and so forth. By the time you get that weapon in your hands, you'll have already about $950 to $1,000 in it, versus going to your local gun shop and just going ahead and forking out, you know, the $950 to them plus tax. You know, it's still going to cost you about $1,000. Point being again is that FNH has already done the work for you, and it works. Anyone who has this weapon that's put a doctor sight or another type RMR red dot will tell you that it works. Some of the complaints or issues that I've heard from some of the people, because if we're going to talk about the good things, we got to also talk about the bad things also. Some of the complaints from some of the people is that the thread protector keeps coming off while you're shooting. Well, you know, if you know that that's what it does, then go ahead and take it off, put it in a bag. FNH supplies a very, very, very nice bag with this. You'll see it in some of the videos and some of the links that I'm going to post. Take it off before you start shooting, and then when you get done, you know, take it out of your bag and put it back on there. I see bunches of videos of threaded weapons that don't even have a protector on the threads. Some well-known companies, you know, they obligate you to pay for one as an added accessory. I'm not going to go into the names of those companies, but you know, why should you have to pay for something when it's already provided here by FNH, and it's just a thing of taking it off, slipping it in your pocket or in your bag, and then putting it on afterwards, unless you are the type of individual that really mistreats your weapons. I mean, you're throwing them all around, you know, bumping them up against rocks and whatnot. I don't foresee anyone having that kind of a problem, you know, where this threaded protector not being there is an issue. One of the other thing is some of the complaints has been the trigger retention pin, which is down in here. That pin slowly makes its way out, and then thus causing the trigger not to be stable, to kind of, you know, your weapon will fire, but it rubs up against the frame of the weapon. Not everyone, I've gone through all the forums and read before I purchased the weapon. I read all the ins and outs about that, and not everyone has experienced this. And most say that the issues are confined to the first batches produced. And then the last thing is the way this weapon extracts the casings of the 45 ACP. That the casings are thrown back into the RMR site, increasing the possibility of breaking the RMR glass. And to this day, I've not heard or read of any RMRs being damaged by case impact. Some experienced nicks around the edges of the metal of the RMR, or slight scratches, you know, type of things on the lens. But as far as the RMR's malfunctioning or its ability to reflect the red dot, you know, no one has posted that. Now, there's always a first time for everything. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened. If it has happened to you, why don't you just go ahead and take a couple of minutes and post it there in the comments. Tell us what your experience has been. You know, if you've had the trigger pin, you know, that has rolled out and you've had issues with that, go ahead and write there. Start the discussion. I'm sure that there are many FNP 45 tactical owners out there that can, you know, either lead you to some of the websites or some of the forums that will give you some good information. The FN Owners Forum is a great place to start. There's a lot of good information there. And then, of course, there's always YouTube. That's why we're here, because we like to see things in person, not just read about them, but see the weapon. And so I've not, like I said, I've not had an opportunity to go out and shoot my weapon, but, you know, there are many other individuals out there that that have shot this, and you know, feel that this has a proven track record of reliability. And so this is Johnny. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel, and it's been a while since I've posted anything, but I'm going to have a few other items that I'm going to be posting in the near future. If you like my channel, why don't you give me a thumbs up? And if you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down, and then tell me why you think this video wasn't informative, and that will help me to be able to better study you know, the weapon or the needs of the gun community. And so and also, if you like my channel, why don't you subscribe? If you'll do that for me, you know, I'll look at your channel and do the same for you. And this is what YouTube is about. Thank you.